is Countrywise,
where we travel the length and breadth of the great British countryside to unpack the latest rural stories. You just never see that.
I know, it's so fantastic, isn't it, to see them up close.
As we uncover some of the secrets of our wild and precious landscapes. I'm stuck in a goat sandwich. Quite literally, cannot move for goats. Hello, beauties.
from the Scottish Highlands to the Cornish coast. We bring you stories from right across Britain.
Yes, and overboard!
Yes, we're overboard!
This week, I'm in Devon to meet someone who's taking horse riding to a whole new level. Now I'm going to stop you. I'm liking this.
I'm in Scotland, tackling nature's invaders. These are enormous.
I know, incredible, aren't they? This is the American skunk average. Here we go, this is it.
And it's full steam ahead for me in Dorset.
What's the steering like? Can I just feel it? It's a bit like steering a big ship, isn't it?
This is Formby, one of the most striking places on our coastline, and also one of the most biodiverse. With its beaches, sand dunes and forests, it's home to a huge variety of plant, animal and insect species. Its most famous resident is, of course, the red squirrel, but there is so much more to discover here. You just have to look a little closer. I'm here to take part in a BioBlitz, a UK-wide interactive survey run by the National Trust, which aims to monitor and record the health of our coastline. And Ranger Andrew Brockbank is my guide. Andrew, how's it going?
It's good, thanks. Nice to meet you, Liz.
Nice to meet you too. This place is so unique, isn't it?
It is. It's a fabulous place. You know, who would expect such a wonderful area of natural coastline so close to Liverpool, Greater Manchester? You know, it's absolutely brilliant.
Well, I'm ready to explore if you are.
Great.
And hopefully help you with a little bit more bio-blitzing. Let's go. This is Formby's first year in the BioBlitz. It's one of 25 coastal locations across Britain taking part in what will be the National Trust's biggest wildlife survey. So what sorts of species are you looking for during the BioBlitz?
Everything. Plants, animals, fungi, on the land, in the woodland, on the seashore. All of these things are really important to collect.
What are you looking at here?
Looking at rest harrow, quite a common plant, but it's one that grows within dune and grassland.
Okay, and you'd record species like this because
we're trying to capture everything. There is this thing about recording that you've got to see everything that's rare, but the common is really important. Today's common might be tomorrow's rare.
Exactly. So what happens during a BioBlitz and who can take part?
Anyone can take part, and that's the beauty of it. But there's a lot of specialists that get involved. They bring expertise, and they are able to introduce people to things which, you know, many will be seeing for the first time.
We're fortunate to have great biodiversity here in the UK. The huge array of plant and animal species and their habitats are vital for a healthy ecosystem that we can all enjoy. Bees are in so much trouble at the moment, so it's nice to monitor how they're doing in this landscape.
It is. Records of the bees are very important, and it's making sure that you do something with the records when she got them. So the BioBlitz is great for getting everyone together and recording as much as possible within the 24 hours and sending those records into the local record centre.
So you've recorded the species details. They're ready to be released, are they?
They are ready now to be released.
Okay, shall we do it?
Yes, let's do it.
Every area of the landscape is surveyed, and the National Trust will use the information to help them manage the 775 miles of coastline in their care. Gary, just keep skimming across the top. I'm skimming. Kate Martin has been working as area ranger here since 2009. You got loads more than me.
I was ahead of you, though, was I? I was a bit of a cheat.
Got lots of jellyfish.
Put the net in and give it a really good shake, so you're making sure you get everything out of it.
Oh, look at that. There's loads of stuff in here. It's great. So these jellyfish-like creatures, what are they?
So they're comb jellies, otherwise known as sea gooseberries. They are predators, funnily enough for something so tiny.
Lots of little crustaceans in my tray.
Yep, so they're all shrimp.
Yep.
Southport, in the area where we are, is famous for its shrimp, and there are still shrimpers.
So it's absolutely vital to record how many are out there still.
Absolutely.
I've got to say though, Kate, I have got complete tray envy because you've got sand eels and a crab. Your technique is clearly superior to mine.
Sand eels are really important at the bottom of the food chain.
So how many bioblitzes have you all taken part in?
This is my first, this one.
Is it? And how do you find it?
It's so good. You explore all these different habitats that you don't usually go and see, and there's experts on hand to come and to help you through and learn.
Indeed, there's something very addictive about it, isn't there? I'm definitely getting a taste for it.
Yeah.
So we'll record all of these species now and then put them back in the water?
That's the one.
Taking part in a BioBlitz is such a great way for us all to get involved in proudly caring for the natural world on our doorstep. And what struck me the most about today is just how much surprising and exciting wildlife there is right under our noses if we just take the time to look for it.
Horses were once a powerhouse of industry and farming. Today, we enjoy them for sport and, of course, for companionship. But I've come to Devon to meet a woman who's taken man's relationship with horses to a whole new level. Emma Massingale's been riding horses since before she could walk. She's developed a riding technique which doesn't need saddles or reins to control the horses. It's all about the relationship between rider and animal. This is known as free riding. Hi Emma.
Hi Ben.
How are you? Very nice to meet you.
And you. Really nice to meet you.
Who have we got here?
This is Atlantis.
Hello Atlantis.
And this is Nala.
Hello Nala. And what kind of horses are they?
These are both 4-year-old purebred Connemara's.
They're very calm. I get a calm vibe all around everything that's going on here.
That's hopefully the idea. And working with horses completely free in this way involves exactly that, being very calm, very relaxed.
And when you say free, you mean free of anything?
Yeah, so no restrictions at all. No saddles, bridles, head collar or ropes. Atlantis?
Hello, I think you're wanted over there.
Atlantis?
These sensitive and intelligent animals respond to Emma's approach, working side by side with her in a relationship of mutual trust. It takes months to nurture this relationship, and she's even created her own language to communicate with them.
Good boys. So we've got voice cues for left, so lay, because left and right sound the same. So I say lay for left and right, obviously, for right. So my stop cue is a breathe out, so it's whoosh, and I want them to stop with me.
Have you always done this kind of riding?
No, I started off very much conventionally and then had a difficult horse and learnt that way. But I've always loved being creative with horses. So when they're working in free, it's a bit like painting a picture. I get to put my own stamp on it and make it my own. Do you fancy having a go?
I'd love to.
Okay, just stand in front of them and come and have a stroke, get to know each of them.
Hello. My name's Ben. That's my fleece, and that's the zip. Yeah, you can undo it going up and down. There you go, or try and pull that might hurt.
So as you can tell, Atlantis is definitely the more cheeky one of the two. Nala's a lot steadier. He's the main man in terms of the steering and you're going to work with today. You have to feel the draw. So if you imagine a V and they're in it, the draw, and then to back it up, if they don't come, you're going to just point the stick towards his shoulder here. Have a go. Okay, so if you come, stay in the middle of them.
Wait guys, I've got to get into the middle of you. Wait.
And then if you keep the stick on the outside, that's it.
Yeah.
And they should follow you.
I'm kind of becoming an equine magnet.
Exactly that, that's the idea. Your stop cue is going to be a breathe out, so quite a loud but very calm.
That's amazing. Wow.
It's really powerful, isn't it? That feeling that just a breath could affect them so much.
We're going to walk on now, if that's okay. Yeah, no, look this way. Concentrate, look. What do you think? Atlantis. Atlantis, will you listen to me, please? This way, come. Thank you. Now I'm going to stop you. I'm liking this.
It's pretty powerful feeling, that.
Really powerful.
To me, it is like the perfect relationship with a horse, because they don't have to do it. They can go wherever they like, they can go off, but they're choosing to want to interact with us and to want to be with us.
Now, I've done a little horse riding in my time, but never like this. It's a little nerve-wracking without a saddle or reins to hold on to.
Nice. So, walk on. Yeah?
Okay. So, energy up.
Yeah.
Nala.
Team, walk on.
Nala, walk on.
Landy. So don't forget Atlantis.
Oh yeah, Atlantis as well.
Yeah.
Gosh, it's interesting just getting my balance. So we're working each other out now. Is he feeling my weight and getting used to me as well?
Yeah, is this a good time to tell you no one's ridden him but me before?
Yeah, yeah. Seriously, is that true?
Yeah.
Amazing.
You have to really believe it, you know?
Okay.
Touch on the shoulder.
Left. I'm going to be so amazed if he does this. Are you ready?
Yeah. Not bad.
Wow. I can't get the smile off my face. It's just, there's something so beautiful, so simple about this.
It's a pretty special feeling, isn't it?
Thank you very much, Nala. What an amazing, amazing experience. How many horses can you work together?
Oh, I've got 11 that I can just about put together now, but on the whole I tend to work 4 as they develop, 6 and so on, and build it up as we go along.
And are you still pushing the boundaries, do you think, of what you can do with this technique?
Absolutely. I mean, we hardly scratch the surface, because when you have a horse and they want to learn, there's just nothing that they can't learn.
Emma uses the natural herd instinct of her horses to help her, and has also mastered the high-risk skill of Roman riding, balancing on top of 2 ponies while still in complete control of the team. I have to say, Emma, you and these boys have sold it for me. I'm going to be back with my kids.
Oh,
what a beautiful way! What a beautiful way to spend a morning or an afternoon.
Once a year, this normally quiet corner of the Dorset countryside comes alive with the sound of steam. This is the largest gathering of engines in the world and gives a real insight into how people lived and worked way back then.
There was a time when the only sound you heard in the countryside was the plod of the horse's feet and the jingle of the harness. And then, somewhere around about the middle of the 19th century, there was a kind of explosion of sound when the steam engine came to work on the land.
And thanks to people like D. Searle and Della Fag, this wonderful part of Britain's engineering heritage lives on today. Steam lovers since childhood, the pair have been driving engines together for 18 years. And today, they brought along His Majesty to impress the crowds.
And what sort of a character is His Majesty?
Oh, she looks after us well. We're an all-girl crew, and she has to behave herself and look after us.
So His Majesty's a she?
Well, we call her a she, yeah.
Do you ever get a second glance, given the fact that you're 2 girls?
No, I think we do. We see a few of the lorry drivers that overtake us, and they go, oh, look, you can see by their reaction, oh, look, it's girls. Second glance.
Yeah, you steer?
I steer,
And your job is?
To do the speed and the water and the coal. Every 20 miles we have to stop for more water, which involves getting the hoses out, filling her up with water, and then you have to fill the tender up with coal. So Della has to throw the coal to me, and I have to lift it into the tender. So it's quite
an easy ride.
His Majesty is a 6-horsepower crane engine built in the 1920s, and today she's taking part in a parade to show off her might.
This is all my dreams come true. Oh, wonderful.
Gentle takeoff.
What do you think it is about steam? Because there's something about steam that gets to you.
I think because it's under your control, you know, you have to put the water in, you have to put the coal in, and you have to keep doing that to get the best out of the engine. And as she comes into steam, she does come alive and starts making noises and things.
What's the steering like? Can I just feel it? Is it
traction engines revolutionised road haulage and all aspects of agricultural work in the late 1800s. But theirs was a short-lived heyday, because by the 1930s, diesel and petrol power had taken over. Brian Snegler is one of only a handful of people left that's skilled in the art of steam ploughing.
I'm just trying to figure out exactly what happens, because you've got an engine at this end.
Yes.
Which has got a winch underneath, a big drum with a cable.
That's right, 600 yards.
Yeah. Then you've got your big plough here.
Yes.
Now, what's at the far end of the field?
Exactly the same, another engine up that end.
And not two identical engines?
Yeah, two identical engines. That driver on that engine will give two toots, which is the signal to pull. That driver at that end will acknowledge that and start to pull the engine that way.
Why do you do this?
Recreating the old days to a degree, and also the people that's with us. You know, we're all here with a common interest. And that, to me, is what it's all about.
Steam ploughs transformed life for the farmer, cultivating 10 times more land in a day than horsepower. Now, it's my turn to get into the driver's seat, and Derek has the job of co-driver.
Well, crikey, you feel like king of the world up here, don't you?
Yep, there's no power steering.
Hey, wonderful.
Now the other way.
Straight up. Oh.
It's easy, isn't it?
Lovely sensation, though.
Oh, it's a lovely place to be out here on the plough.
There's not much slacking it, isn't there? You've got to take up the slack before anything happens.
Yeah, there's a little bit of wear in the steering. It's only built in 1890.
I'm not supposed to have too many spares around either. I have to say it's the most remarkable sensation, this, because it's a sort of combination of gliding through the air or sailing through the water, but you're actually ploughing through the soil. It's a sensation quite like no other. Quite remarkable, isn't it?
Oh, it's lovely.
Back with Dee and Della, it's time to parade His Majesty in front of the crowds.
Well done, nice piece of manoeuvring.
Thank you.
Didn't always go right.
That we can enjoy these engines today is thanks to the passion of people like Brian, Della and Dee, who dedicate their time to preserving them.
It's a full-time hobby, because when we're not here, we're at home maintaining them and make sure they're in tip-top condition, ready for the next season.
Because we're only custodians of the engines. This engine's not 95 years old, so we're only looking after it for a short time in its lifetime.
Hopefully for the next generation.
It's there. The Loch Lomond and Trossachs National Park is recognised worldwide for its diverse landscape and breathtaking scenery. Just 20 miles north of Glasgow, it's a tranquil haven for wildlife. But this beautiful place is at risk from plants that are not native to Britain. They're known as invasive species, and they're recognised as the second biggest threat to biodiversity after climate change. And tackling the problem is no small feat. I'm meeting Graham Alty, a ranger involved in a project that hopes to give the indigenous species here in the national park a chance. Graham? Hi there. Nice to meet you.
How are you doing?
I'm very well, how are you?
Yeah, very good, thanks.
You've got quite a big job in your hands today.
We certainly do. Just want to have a look?
Yes. The Victorians brought back many exotic plants from their travels around the empire. These species don't cause any harm in their natural habitats, but once introduced where they don't belong, they can have a devastating impact on our native plants. These are enormous.
I know, incredible, aren't they? This is the American skunk cabbage. Here we go, this is it.
Look at that. The Victorians brought this particular plant here.
Yeah, a plant that was sort of planted as a sort of ornamental garden plant, and
I can see how dramatic it is.
Yeah, and it absolutely loves these really kind of wet, muddy kind of places, just like this.
Why is it called skunk cabbage?
Well, when it flowers, it has this quite sort of strong odour to it, which is pretty unpleasant. I mean, some places where you see really big areas of it, the smell is really quite overwhelming.
What I find interesting is that these are still being sold in garden centres.
Yeah, so these at one time would have just been planted in somebody's garden, but over the years they've now found themselves into this kind of wild woodland area.
Okay.
And are just starting to completely take over.
But there is one non-native plant so aggressive that in 1981 a law was passed prohibiting its planting in wild places. Japanese knotweed may look innocent enough, but to an environment like this, it can be extremely damaging.
It shades out a lot of the sort of natural wildlife, a lot of the flowers and things that would be here naturally, and it can just completely take over, and all of that native wildlife just disappears.
So why can't you just pull these invasives out as opposed to using herbicides?
Well, one of the main problems with knotweed is the way it spreads. I mean, it spreads by its roots or leaves or stems. For example, if any of this stuff was to get into the river, it would wash down the river and it would just land on the riverbank and it would form a new sort of colony of Japanese knotweed.
Wow.
And actually Japanese knotweed itself is classed as hazardous waste, so it'll have to be taken away in a vehicle that's licensed to take that, and it'll have to be taken to a landfill site that's licensed to receive that special waste. So you can't just dig it up and put it in the bin.
All traces of knotweed must be destroyed to successfully kill it off, but with roots spreading 3 metres in depth and 7 metres across in all directions, this is an enormous task.
It could take even 4 or 5 years potentially coming back and revisiting the site and spraying it to completely kill all of this knotweed that's here.
Okay.
In more sensitive areas, the weed killer is injected into individual stems so it doesn't kill off any of the surrounding plants.
So there it goes, pull the trigger, and that's it. When we're using this, we're targeting the chemical straight into the stem of the plant, so there's no issues with the chemicals spreading onto any of the kind of the plants or the sort of environment around us.
So how effective has this project been so far?
Well, one of the good things that we have sort of started to see in some of the sites where we have sprayed it, even though there's still a little bit of the knotweed left, we've seen that there's a lot more of the kind of native wildlife and the native plants all kind of coming back in those areas. I mean, the National Park's an absolutely beautiful place. It's full of lots of interesting landscapes and habitats. And we found that we've had a lot of success in getting rid of a lot of these non-native species. But there's still a long way to go yet. We haven't eradicated them by any means, but we've seen huge, huge reductions. So it does work.
You'll be in a job for a while yet, won't you?
Yeah.
The battle to keep the UK's plant life as healthy and diverse as possible rages on. But here in the Trossachs at least, there are promising signs for the future.
Well, earlier we had an extraordinary insight into some of the quietest creatures in the garden, and it's already on the ITV Hub if you missed it. We're back in Coronation Street next before John Bishop heads off on an incredible journey to Africa to witness the conservation efforts there on his guerrilla adventure, brand new at 9.